So I'm here with Jake and Tara and their two dogs, Molly and Crown. They have a beautiful ambulance conversion, DIY ambulance. They just hit the road a couple of weeks ago. Let's check it out.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Tara.
And this is Sarah, our ambulance. It's a 2010 E350 ambulance converted to live-in. 6-liter diesel with a 4-wheel drive conversion. So I might mention, I'm a career mechanic, so I used to own an automotive business for the last 10 years. So it doubled as a very nice skill to have when building this thing. The 4-wheel drive we did all in-house ourselves. All the fan conversion was done all in-house by ourselves. The automotive industry was definitely a fun part of our lives, but we got to the point where we were ready to move on and try something new. I feel like everyone hits that 10-year break where they're just like, I'm tired of doing what I'm doing. I want to try something else. And for us, we got married and decided we just wanted to see the world. So we decided to close the shop, sell our house, all of our stuff. Quit our jobs and hit the road. All right, so here's the water compartment, guys. We got hot tap, on-demand water, 42 gallons of fresh water. Propane's up in the sealed compartment upstairs. A couple trash cans. This also doubles as our trash from the inside or outside. The compartment closes off, so no smelly foods inside. And you can take the trash out from that outside.
It's Jake's baby.
All right, so this is the solar compartment. We got 400 amp hours of lithium LiPo4 batteries, a 3000 VA inverter from Victron, DC to DC charger, 950 watts of solar on the roof, and all tied together with this nice little Lynx distributor. A lot of tucked away wires in there.
And you guys had to integrate the ambulance system with the power system in here, right?
Correct.
We did. We kind of overlaid some things and then borrowed and stole the consumers that we wanted for our own DC, and then we kind of just left the rest there. So everything is still in the ambulance. We just utilize what we need. But it's not just solar. We got an onboard generator as well in case solar or rainy day isn't working for us. So we can fire this guy up. It'll run our little 5K air conditioner in the back, and all of our appliances, everything inside. Horizontal 10-pound propane tank keeps us supplied for several hours. And then the 10-liter diesel tank is for the diesel heater, which is mounted in this upper corner up here. All right, so we got the 270-degree awning from Overland as well. It wraps to this front corner and then all the way around the back. And then the front here, we also use their storage compartment on a Yakima Skinny Warrior rack, I believe. And then we built the custom crossbars with the Smitty built drip rail mounts. And how do we get up there, you ask? We found this nifty guy online. If I can get out of the back here. And this just hooks in the door jamb here. Sets up, and then now you can climb up.
I also got this little table over here that Jake mounted, basically. We can food prep out here, and when we have our awning out, we can just hang out in the shade.
This is our everything cabinet, so it's accessible from the inside and the outside. We got Tara's coffee maker, espresso machine in there, and then all of our games and our frisbees and chairs and stuff that we're going to use, quite often. The motorcycle rack was partially my idea, partially my dad's idea. Basically, it doubles the front and the back for motorcycle storage. So when we're in town and set up camp and we just want to bebop around or run and grab a supply, we just unload the bike and jet into town and cruise back. And then if we're camped out and we want to have the doors open while we're camping, we just throw the bike on the front. So the bike mount from the back actually comes up, plugs into these two receivers here with two 5/8 pins. So that's how the bike doubles on the front for storage.
It's basically just an identical setup on both ends.
Yep, and it's actually stacked under each frame rail, so you gain a lot of support and rigidity. A lot of bike racks just use this center style, and you just have so much leverage on a bike that's heavy, traveling across the country, going across bumps and rocks and off-road terrain, that having two fixed points is a lot stronger. so this is the back of the ambulance. Ideally, when it's nice and warm, we'll have the doors open. We have a little bug screen that sets in there. With our bed set up, we can look out at whatever beautiful place we happen to be staying the night. This falls down and doubles as a table. So I have this set up that basically you can adjust. So if we're parked on an incline somewhere, I can still make this table level all the time. I got most of my tools and stuff in here that are just on slides. Hopefully we don't need this stuff.
Have it, it'll be nice.
If you have it, you usually don't have to use it. That's what I've learned. In the event that you need to get on the roof, which hopefully we don't very often, we went up with a really simple setup. It sucks to have a ladder on the back of these because you can't open the doors fully, or you got to keep the ladder so close to the body that you really can't put your foot on it well. So this was a fair compromise. I wouldn't say it's any better, but it's definitely lighter, easier, and it works for us. So this bar actually used to run the full length inside, and that's what the paramedics would use to hold, stabilize themselves while they're working on a patient. We basically took it down, cut it off, re-welded the same ends, and then this is our handhold to get up on the roof.
Yep. It's pretty easy though, and then you just step up.
Yep. These two are two travel companions right here.
This is Molly, and this is Crown. We've had them forever. She's 12 and he's 9. Let's start over here.
Stepping over dogs.
Stepping over dogs. So starting from right when you walk in, we got this compartment right here. This is the same one that you could see from outside. My favorite part about this compartment is this is where I do my makeup. I just have a little light up mirror right here, and the stairs double as a step for us to sit on. This is our fridge freezer combo. Pretty good size. We can fit a lot of food in here.
We did keep the fridge all 12 volt as well. So pretty much all of our consumers on the inside here are 12 volt DC. I might mention too, we do have a second source of heat, which is right here. We opted to leave the factory AC and heat unit. It takes up a lot of space, it's bulky, but it works awesome.
It is so good. While we're driving, we can set the temperature we want back here, so when we're where we want to be, the temperature is what we want it to be. So that's nice.
And the dogs love it.
The dogs like it, yeah. We can keep it warm or cool back here for them.
That's our diesel heater up in the corner there. If you check out our channel, I did some cool build videos on it. We're able to build a stainless shroud for it. So all the exhaust is all encased in that to keep it safe. We don't want anything starting on fire.
All right, this right here, this is the outside of our pantry. I made a little sign here underneath. So this is all our food right here. All of our flat stuff can be in this little DeWalt thing, and it holds quite a bit that we can be off grid for several weeks at a time with the food that we have.
Behind the food there is a crazy relay panel that's all the factory ambulance stuff. We opted to build a false wall and just encase it. That's where we grabbed all of our DC consumers from. Welcome to the kitchen. So our whole theme with this ambulance build was to keep it as much ambulance as possible, honestly. There used to be a counter here, so we redid the counter, added a sink. This is that compartment I was telling you guys about from the outside. So our trash goes in there. Kind of seals up nice so you don't got to smell your rotten food after a few days. Fit one drawer into this guy, and then gray water under the sink. Just a simple 2-gallon down there.
We kept a lot of the original cabinetry and cut some of it out, but we were able to utilize it exactly as it was and then just cover it up and make it look a little bit more aesthetic.
Yeah. And then the cabinets the pantry and cabinets that we took out of this area, we were able to actually cut down and reuse all the material to build these upper cabinets here. So we tried to reuse as much as we could throughout this whole build. This is our battery monitor. This is how we monitor how much voltage is going into our batteries and how much we have. This panel is factory, so this used to control all the interior ambulance functions. A lot of them we were able to reuse, so we did our own LED lighting and stuff now, but we're able to reuse the switches. Suction that's out there now controls fans for the lithium batteries to keep them cool. We still have exhaust fan use.
The patient heat cool button right here is what controls this AC and heat unit, so we can control the temperature of this whole back compartment with that.
And moving on to cooking, we have a little propane stove and oven unit. I see these on a lot of people's builds. I think everybody loves them. It's worked well for us so far.
Originally, when this was an ambulance, this whole section right here is where the paramedics would sit and then strap themselves in. So we already had this cut out. Down here was where the seatbelt used to buckle, and Jake turned this into storage for all of my baking goods. Over here, he made a little medicine cabinet and spice drawer. So that is really nice to be able to utilize that space. Pretty much everything in here has dual purpose, so if you find a couple inches, you have to use it.
That is one of my favorite things about this build and what you guys did, is just taking all that space that was already there and just maximizing everything around what was there before.
Yeah, the one thing if I could change, we would have done the full, extendo ceiling, but that was just not in the cards for us to do at this point. But I'm 6 foot. I got to slouch a little bit in here to, be comfortable or, get the wide stance. But honestly, we're adapting, pretty easily. If that's my biggest complaint, I think we're going to be all right.
So now we're moving into the bedroom area. Right here we have our little bench. It used to be a little bit shorter. Jake extended it out, and his mom made these cushions. They used to be blue and for the paramedics, and now they're matching the rest of our decor. Under here, as you can see, we have a whole compartment for all of our shoes, hats, socks, underwear, and dirty clothes. That's one thing that we didn't think of until when we started to make these compartments, was where do your dirty clothes go? So that was a key component right there for us. All of these pillows also double as their use. They are really comfortable on your back, and then also they have all of our clothes in there. So all of our thick clothes for winter time.
Our jackets and, all the puffy stuff also is a pretty nice pillow.
Up here, these are the cabinets that we were talking about that Jake had utilized from the other side. He cut them down and was able to extend them all the way across and use the same slides, so that way they match the rest of the decor. Up here, when we're laying in bed, we just flip this down right here. We have a projector that sits right on top of there, and then this pulls down and we can watch movies at night.
And then this bed folds away.
It does fold away. Yep, it's a tri-fold bed, and we'll show you how we do that.
Yep. It's over. Optimus Prime. Transform.
Is a table.
So I actually sit there.
All right.
Tara is the skinnier one. So she actually pulls out the cooler. And this is dinner.
Perfect.
Yeah. Dinner, games, whatever we want. And these were actually really important right here.
Cup holders.
Jake made these cup holders because we spilled a couple beers, so yeah.
So the Yeti is actually just double storage for us to have some extra food and drinks. So
there's no ice in there.
Your good old Miller Lite.
You just keep it for storage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And a seat, so that's what I sit on.
Right.
Yep.
It's the perfect height for the seat.
Exactly.
Bedding normally all goes in here, and then that just slides underneath this little cubby. And then this is some of our big storage. So like our hiking gear, big jackets, torque wrench.
There's a lot of storage in here.
There's a lot. Thank God there's not more, because we would have filled it.
Yeah, we would have found something to put in there for sure.
I'm super proud of this. This is just a little latch you'd find in a bathroom stall, but it basically locks both doors, one or neither. But this pulls out. This is the dog stuff. We got some dog toys, toilet paper, canned goods, more dog stuff.
I really like the latch. That was an ingenious use of that.
I like that.
And then up here we have...
Pinnacle of the build.
Then up here we have all of the clothes that we brought with us. So this is my closet, and this is Jake's closet. And if you knew what we were coming from, oh my gosh, this is a huge
She went
adjustment.
from like a converted bedroom closet walk-in to like 4 square feet. So
yeah, if that. And honestly, it's kind of nice to be able to get rid of some of all the extra bulk, and you don't really need everything that you think you need. So
Yes.
yeah,
we're finding that out. I think a month from now, I think we'll drop like
half the
200 or
clothes.
300 pounds off this thing. Just stuff. One other cool thing I did want to mention. My mom and Tara built these. I'm super proud of the work they did, but they have blackout curtains or shades. helps insulate a little bit, but it is dark in here. We made one for the roof vent as well, but when everything's closed up, it is pitch black in here. So Tara's a traveling nurse basically, and she works a lot of night shifts, so that gives her the capability to actually sleep during the day in the rig. We tried to keep with the whole stainless appearance. If you've ever seen a stock ambulance, they just have all this really cool stainless trim, and we really wanted to just keep that throughout. So everything we could, we tried to match to the factory stuff. We did a stainless backsplash. You know, we broke all that and cut it up at my dad's shop, even down to just like the little door. Watch out, Molly. We got a stainless face on it, but we built like a nice aluminum frame for it. Honestly, I just worked with what I know. So I'm not a wood guy, I'm a steel guy. So we broke this up at the shop, and it's just a piece of stainless that we're able to basically bend up for 2 sets of shoes. It's open on the bottom, so all your mud and rocks can fall out. So the floor, actually, we tried to keep it industrial, but the floor is all rubber. We left that. That was factory to the ambulance. The stainless perimeter kind of give us the option to just hose this thing out. The dogs are messy. They stink, I'm not going to lie. But it's nice to be able to just sweep this out, or, you know, Swiffer it out, or whatever it is.
Right, yeah. We chose to keep this flooring just because it was already so durable.
Yeah. Tara has a rug that she wants to put down and cover up all this beautiful black rubber flooring, but
Honestly,
so far,
the rug is decorative. It's not going to be very functional. So. Hasn't come out yet.
Well, this is how it all started. So Tara's dad, I don't even know what would you call him, a hippie almost?
Yeah, he calls himself a dirtbag. Like, that's how he likes to... He bought a van, and he likes to travel around in his van. And during COVID, the height of COVID, he was like, I'm going to go up to Canada and buy this ambulance. And I was like, you're not going to Canada to buy an ambulance in the middle of a pandemic. And he didn't. But then we started thinking about the whole ambulance thing, and it's like, oh, an ambulance actually is a really good apparatus for van life, because for several reasons. I mean, it's already a square, it already has electrical in it.
It's so modular, being that it's like perfectly square. Like, fitting things in it is so much easier to do on a notepad than like a Sprinter where the walls are round and, you know, cabinets have to be built, you know, so specific. And then the aluminum frame, I think I told you a little bit earlier, but 2x2 eighth wall, you know, aluminum gives you so much mounting points for everything.
Yeah.
Plus it's structural. They already come with, ours came with like a bunch of R19 insulation and stuff already in it, so that portion of it's kind of already done for you.
It already has the cabinetry. Honestly, if you just bought an ambulance, you could live in it very simply, and you wouldn't have to do it as much as we did. But we wanted it to be fully livable and feel like we were at home.
They're cool because an ambulance allows you to live at any level of van life. Like, very beginner, get in the van, you have an inverter, get some hot water, and you can camp. You know what I mean? You got everything you need. Most of them have a little bench. A single person could, you know, just sleep on it like a cot.
Yeah.
It gets you in the door to get out there and start enjoying it. Yeah. There's just so many good points to the ambulance.
I do have a question. Are you guys like weirded out at all by being in an ambulance and knowing that it was an ambulance in the past? And
people do ask us that question. I'm not weirded out about it at all, but I'm also not weird. I work in the medical field, so it's very familiar to me.
Right.
I feel like we've changed the look of it so much that you don't think of it as being a place where lives were saved. I think of it as a home now.
Yeah.
You know.
Imagine at one point there's like blood splatter all over.
I'm sure there was.
I'm sure, but you know, it's got a new life now, I guess. And
I'd like to think of it as like, think of how many lives this has saved, and now it's, you know, started a new life for us. Gives us the best, I think, ground to really make a transformation in our whole lives.
Yeah.
And I feel like since we did completely convert it and made it feel like a home, we sold our actual home in Colorado, and the transition to moving into here was pretty easy.
What sparked you guys to make that transition? Because you had a house, you sold the house,
Mm-hmm.
you've kind of
business, had
a whole business. Mechanic.
Honestly,
we needed a big change, you know.
So we had just we've been married a year now, a little over a year, almost a year and a half, but
we've been together.
We decided, we've been together 10 years, but we made a decision that when we got married, we were going to try something new and, you know, change our lifestyles, and we have a lot of work to do in that, but you know, we want to use this as a platform to find ourselves again, find our passions again, not be caught up so much in work, spend more time, you know, talking with God and reading our Bible, and also fitness. Like, we want to get back in shape and do, you know, all these things that are going to make us better people. And there's just so much more freedom and time available when you're living this way to, you know, do what matters.
I feel like you can just really focus on the positive changes that you want to make in your life when you're not working a 9 to 5. We have a lot of free time right now, and we want to utilize the free time in a positive way. Yeah.
That's the whole reason I got into van life. The same thing, just trying to get more free time so that I could focus on doing the things that I was passionate about, and it's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Huge thank you to Tara and Jake for taking the time to show us around their ambulance conversion and share their story with us. It was kind of just random that we met them. We were parked next to them at a Harvest Host back when we were in Louisiana. I've had this video for a little while, but figured this was a good time to share it with you guys. I know it's a little bit of a break from the off-grid content that we've been doing, just a quick van life break for a week or so here, but it was really awesome to get the chance to meet them. I would definitely recommend checking out their Instagram. It is at OnlyVansLLC. I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can check that out. They've been documenting their experience while they've been traveling around in the ambulance for the past few months, and I think their plan is to continue to travel in that ambulance for the indefinite future. Like, they're going to be on the road full time. And there's also some information on that Instagram, some of the older posts about the build itself and some of the things that they were doing to convert the ambulance. I think my favorite part of their build is just that they did such a great job seamlessly integrating the old ambulance components with the new. They made it into a nice home, and it looks quite a bit different than it did originally, but at the same time they were still able to do all that metal work and all that steel work to really just kind of make it look really nice overall, and just a very utilitarian build as well. They have everything that they could ever possibly need on the road, and then some. And then also the mechanical stuff that they did. I mean, I can't even comprehend how difficult it must be to do something like your own 4-wheel drive conversion on a vehicle. Like, that kind of just blows my mind. Obviously, Jake was a lifelong mechanic though, so it makes a little bit more sense for him, but really, really awesome that they were able to put that much work into that thing over the span of 9 months. And now they're out there on the road living their dream. It was really, really awesome, like I said, to get the chance to meet them, and hopefully we'll see them again at some point down the road. I can't thank you all enough for watching and for following along on this journey. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.